I am
Meeting is being recorded.
I am one of the career learning and development advisors here at Royal Roads University, and it's with great gratitude that I would like to do our land acknowledgement, where I'm connecting today from the traditional lands of the Wasanek people. So that have the privilege not only to work, but as well live in this surrounding area. Significantly, I'm just next to the Pocols, which is its originally Salish name. And I'm very blessed that I could escape into this lands when I need to be, so grounded. So I'm very appreciative of the stewardship of where today I can live and connect from. And so today we're talking about LinkedIn. Yes, your professional community. This tool is a tool that has been prevalent, I'm going to say, for over 15 years, but really continues to be the one professional platform that continues to be really, really important, especially if you're coming into the Canadian marketplace for your first time and you're trying to develop as well your network here. So it's a professional community, very different than other social media platforms that you may have, and it's one that we do recommend students to take the time to build their profiles as they're looking to build their networks. So today, what we're hoping to learn, it's obviously how can we optimize your LinkedIn profile? That's going to be our main goal. And then how we can use this tool for networking. This session is one of the 2 sessions that we launch in preparation for our Employer Connect that's happening on February 27. I hope all of you have marked in your calendars between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. We're welcoming employers on campus, on site in our grand quarter deck, and we want to make sure that you have some steps ready. If you missed our previous session that we hosted 2 weeks ago on how to prepare for networking events, please note the recording is available and that we will be sharing with you where to find them. So these are the goals for today, but let's jump right away into a starting point. Whenever we're looking at doing any edits in our LinkedIn profile, if we already have an existing one, please note the first step you must do is always change your privacy settings to avoid notifying your contacts. This is a very important thing that maybe some students were not aware, but anytime you make an edit, your entire community will have a spam message about the changes you've created. So when you are creating your new profile or you're making changes, it's really, really advisable to change your settings for the time being, so your contacts can avoid being spam. So that's a courtesy thing that we could do. How you can do that, and I will show you, it's when you go into your LinkedIn profile, you'll have a section where is your little face and says about me. I'll show you my LinkedIn in a moment. In that section, you can go to the settings and then you check visibility. Under visibility, you're going to have, scrolling down, visibility of your LinkedIn activity. And that's where you really need to take the time to share job changes, education, work anniversaries from our profile to turn them off. That way you'll have freedom in making changes and then reactivate it without spamming your network. I hope this is a good tip for everybody. Always remember to come back and activate it again later on. This is one of the first ones if some of you are trying to do some of the information that we shared today hand in hand. So to optimize our LinkedIn, first, we really need to familiarize with some of the LinkedIn features. Again, if you're the first time user, we will need to have a profile. Today, I'm not going to be able to walk you into the content. Like, I'll give you some headlines in these areas, but if you've never created a profile, please do review the resources that we'll share with you and then start looking at this optimization of your profile. It's very simple. There's many videos available on how to create a profile. And note that it's not a resume in the perspective that a resume is a targeted document. It's a targeted document for a role for a specific organization. Your LinkedIn profile is a showcase of your professional depth. So it's a very different an opportunity to even go beyond. So we're going to familiarize with those features. So you would have to say the profile is one that we'll touch base today. Your news feed, how do you get notifications for those organizations or groups you start following? How you can use your chat and searches. But today we're going to focus really a lot on your photo, the banner, the effective headline and summary, the importance of location and industry, as well as customizing your URL And then how can we just do some, description of your work experience education to then be ready to be strategic when we're connecting, when we're attending events for our follow-up. So that's what we're aiming to do today in a very short time. So let's get going if everybody's ready. So how is your profile picture? I would like to invite you to think about it. It is really, there's evidence from LinkedIn reports that there's more views, there's greater connection if there's a good picture in your profile. This should be a picture that really showcase you in the best light. It could be, as you see here, it could be maybe if your industry is very formal, maybe you can showcase that, or you could be yourself as well in it. One of the important things is to really make sure, and I'm going to show you some different examples, that is your face, the one that takes the majority of the frame. Here, I want to show you two examples on this two student. Well, one is a student and another one who has moved forward. And these are different profiles that we have been gathering from before because they're great examples. Your eyes should be 2/3 of the picture. It should be really on the upper side. It should really be a focus with you mainly in the frame so you can create that connection. Nowadays, there's a lot of Gen I headshots. I don't know if anybody has played here with Gen I in creating headshots from general pictures that you can feed to the system. This is a comfort level. The majority of those Gen I generated headshots require you to pay, and I really do not advocate for any platform that requires you to make a payment. So I would just invite you to make sure that either you attend your program headshots, which happen throughout the year. So if you haven't had one professional headshot from your program, you can reach out to your program office, ask them if they're offering them. They happen throughout the year. Different programs do it. So ask if that's a possibility. They're great. They're done on campus. Or then as well, maybe see with a friend and maybe put yourself in areas that are, maybe on campus that create great lighting, and just make sure that your eyes are set on that hat. 2/3 are from the upper hat. The other thing is your banner. Take the time to showcase that you're taking it above the generic blue banner that they have. There's many ways you can do this. You can use your own portfolio of photographs that you've done. The only thing is it will take you to fit the format of LinkedIn, and you would need to find out what's the format. We have different tools that we can give you. But as well, there's a tool called Canva. I don't know if some students here are familiar with Canvas. That's it's a free tool, and they have already LinkedIn banner samples available to you. They are quite varied, and if I may, I'm going to show you some of them that you could consider as well used in future. These are free. They've already been measured. Canva is again a free tool, and you can select different that could maybe fit more your personality, but these are available to you to start indicating how you are actively using this and taking it above than the generic one. So I'm going to come back. So Canva, again, a free tool. Do not pay, just use the free function and look for LinkedIn banner templates that are free. So that would be another great recommendation for anyone looking at, elevating their banner from the generic one. So let me just take a moment. How many of you have an update banner? Can I have a raise of hands? I have a couple of students here. Yeah, okay. Nico, thank you. So it's like have a couple of students down there. Thank you so much. Yeah, it really just showcases a different engagement level when you have that. So thank you so much for already updating that. The other thing we've noticed with some students as they're coming from different areas, from our international students or as well from across Canada, is how important is to update your location. This is really going to help you. Some of you may have had your established LinkedIn networks from your country of origin or where you had established professionally. You do need to take the time to take the opportunity to look at this information and update it. This would be as well under your settings. And then you could start looking at editing and to add your location and make sure Canada is highlighted in your location. You can narrow it even to the postal code, but I would say at this point, leave it generic to Canada. That way you could get opportunities from across and networks from across Canada and signal that you are here, you are mobile. And as well, make sure you take the opportunity to highlight your industry. In this case, you're seeing my own profile in the background. So this is as well good because remember, this system works on algorithms, right? The information you have loaded here is what you're going to be receiving from NewsFed and other sections. So take the opportunity to look at this. All the links that I will be providing in the slides will be available as well to those who registered. So I'm not going to click on them right now, but I wanted to showcase them some, show you where you would find them in the slides. So customizing your URL. How many of you have already customized your URL? Can you raise your hand? Thank you, Joe. Okay. And again, from our students from MIIC, I don't see others raising their hand, but yeah, that is as well critical. It is the one step that it takes where you go as well under a me, and under the me, you'll see the public profile URL. I do invite you to click on that pen that is on the right-hand side. And instead of having a LinkedIn profile that is a series of numbers and letters that doesn't mean anything, how can you customize to really showcase you? And you can start using this to include them in your resumes, applications, email signatures, so people can learn more about you if they decide to click on that. So this shows as well another level of professionalism. If you're creating your public profile and you want to be sharing, customize your URL. So the headline, let's move to the headline section. These are critical pieces. Headline and about is where the algorithms that are created on LinkedIn will generate the greater probably results for recruiters. This is an area that should not be taken lightly. And I know that's the ones that overwhelm most students. It's important to really personalize this into where the sector that you are and the work that you can, the impacts where you can be doing. There's a couple of formulas out there from some great influencers that I will provide as resources, but the idea is not to leave it with your last job title. That is really not where it's going to really create the most. Here's where you're going to have to wear those maybe those very constant words that come through different descriptions of the roles that you're looking for. That could be keywords that we can incorporate them in your headline. And there's another blogger who's talking a lot about results. Could you add results into that headline? How do you create? So it's not anymore a one single line. This could be a 2-line descriptor that is a very impactful one that could really result in additional, targets with recruiters when they're looking for this. So let me show you a couple of them here. So why I want to show you Desiree. So Desiree, as you see here, does not have the customized banner. She has her just generic banner. So you could see how that could change if she would create something differently from that perspective. She is using her own, role as the main, but she's adding some other sectors, recruiting and human resources. That is something that you could as well lean on into understanding what are the keywords in the sector that you're looking for. For some students as well, you can navigate this through, the use of artificial intelligence. You can feed artificial intelligence 5 different job postings that you are looking, and you can ask them, what are the top 5 keywords in this postings, or 10 keywords? And that could be signaling you what are the keywords that are most frequently sought out for postings and jobs in this area. That could be insight for you as well for here. About what I like about her Desiree's about is really she's coming to tell us here's where we really need to think about different than the resume. We use the first person in the about section, and we tell a little bit of the story of who we are. Why is she where he is? And that's compelling. You see the authenticity and what she's looking why she's in this sector and looking to grow into it. So I really like her story. There's another one as well here. You could see now Demiller, his banner is a little bit more interactive, right? It's customized, really wants to reflect probably its own personality. Now look at the headline, right? A lot of keywords here: strategy, growth, partnership, financial technology, design thinking, business. So this is where he was playing a lot of those keywords that are appearing. He's not using his last job title, but he's playing with those keywords that could be critical for the algorithms. The about, what is very unique as well, and if you have the opportunity, is he walks us into why his career transition. He's sharing with us how he was really into computer science and what led him to human resources, which is a very interesting change, right, in direction. But he really engages the reader into the why. Some people talk about 880 words, could be in this, up to 1,000 in the about. Really, for me, there's argues that some people maybe read the first 3-4 lines and they don't read the entire, then maybe just 1/3 read the entire about me. But it's a great opportunity to tell your story. And that's how I would like you to take, to really consider it. How can you articulate the value you can bring? Have you been discovering what's driving you to be in this transition of this process? And authenticity is really important in this area. But another way that you could do this as well is review a couple of headlines of individuals or people that you have identified in LinkedIn. Start seeing a little bit of how they introduce themselves. If that resonates with you, that could be as well another approach. Obviously, create your own. This is really about showcasing yourself and not others. And yes, so this is probably what I would like to talk about. These two sections are very critical for algorithms and as well to showcase who you are. So let's take a moment now. So we looked at the photo, we talked about the banner, how important it is to have your location, customized URL, how strategic you can be with your headline and to your about me sections to tell your story and hit it with algorithms. But as well, let me start looking now and then, how do we use this tool for building our networks? Search is a very common section in LinkedIn, and I hope you all are been playing with that continuously. And I'm going to show you as well that when we are in there, and I'm going to go live with LinkedIn in a moment, but I'm going to just showing you as well in your main headline of your LinkedIn, you're going to have that My Network. Under your network is very interesting how LinkedIn will be providing you a lot of options. They will asking you, well, people you may know from this sector. Maybe this is people who have connected, who have similar connections. Maybe these are people who would be related to other professional associations you follow. So these are suggestions of individuals that they're already telling you could be within your community. So it's very important to take a look at them. And as we're going to go live, I'm going to want to show you as well Royal Roads University. Our page of Royal Roads University has that alumni feature that is very important and the one that all of you may want to keep in your radar as you're looking to build your network. So if you're ready, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to go and share with you my LinkedIn. Sorry, it's coming up. If you have any questions while I'm moving along, and I'm so sorry, I'm just aware of the time, please don't hesitate to jump them in the chat. I have my colleague Sue Brown, who would be happy to answer any questions as we move along, or as well towards the end, I'm allocating some time for it. So yeah, I can see all of you in my screen. So one of the sections that I was telling you about is the network. So here when we're in the home, this is a search box. So you all maybe are familiar with that, but there is a network piece. And this is where I was showcasing you how they will tell you, people who I may know from the workplace or institutions, based on my recent activity, what would they suggest? And this is, it's always been in existence, but this is a form of artificial intelligence, right? Maybe in the geographical areas that I've been exploring, who may be people. So this is one good step to start seeing individuals, right? That maybe align with some of your interests. So play with these ones as you move along to identify that network. Let's move now to bring Royal Roads University. So I tap Royal Roads University, the school. Please note we have as well a career learning and development page. So visit us there too and follow us, as this is a static page where we make a lot of announcements. But let's look at Royal Roads University. So when we're in Royal Roads University LinkedIn page, and this is valid for the majority of post-secondary institutions, if you come from another degree from another institution, please know that they may have the alumni tab as well in it. You can click in the alum, and this could be a great opportunity for you to start identifying not only people that are suggested in the circles or sectors, right, that could build your network, but then people who are already coming from they're like-minded from the institution that you're engaged with. And it can show you, Royal Roads has, I think, close to 30 years of existence. So it's not as old as other post-secondary institutions, but we already have about 28,000 alumni currently following our pages. This could be a great way to us connect or identify people who maybe come from our program. Is there a program that maybe you would like me to take a look at? Maybe can somebody jump in the chat or take the mic? Is there a program that somebody would like me to take a look at right now live?
Could you please, Alejandra, please MAIIC?
Okay, so is your international
And intercultural
cultural
communication.
communications? Yes, sorry.
No worries.
And is a believe
Master
it's
of
a
Arts.
Master of Arts, right?
Yes, please.
So right now it indicates as 9 alumni, which is not correct. There's more than 9. And this is where you really need to take a look at how people upload this information, okay? So it's only as accurate as the user identifies themselves. But let's take a look at these individuals who came here. So we could see where they work. You could say where they live. We could as well see what they do, what areas they do, and what are they skilled at, right? So that could be one of the ways that we could see it. But let's take a look at the 2 that come out. So we have Srubi Sharma. Tell me which one would you like me to click on from my screen?
Maybe Gabriel Valentini.
Okay, so let's take a Gabriel Valentin. So this is what I would recommend students to do as part of their networking and identifying graduates. So first I would come and familiarize with Gabriel's headline and what are they doing, communications change management. I would take a look at their about and understand, okay, how they are showcasing themselves. And then I would look how active is Valentin. Well, Valentin has not posted anything. So is this going to be the best tool for us to connect with Valentin? Probably not, because if he has not been actively posting for a significant time, that could be as well a way for us to know that, yeah, this is not going to be the best way for me to communicate with that. Having said that, I could see what has been the career pathways of this student, right? How do they grow? What do they develop? What has been the transition through their years, right? It seems like every 2 years or less than 2 years, he's been moving around and switching. And then I can take a look as well, the communication. So Valentin graduated from 2017, right? So it's not far off, but this is someone who can do it, has done it. Another way that I could find out how to reach out with Valentin, if I would like to, then I would identify who's the company he's currently working on. I would find out if there's a generic directory in that company's website, and maybe that could be another way I can reach out the communications department to reach out to Valentin. But the most important thing is to see the career trajectory. What are their studies? What did we have in common? What has been the licenses and certifications? Where have they found volunteer opportunities? And one of the things as well I always ask is take a look at the groups they're following or companies. This could be another great insight for you as you're trying to get maybe cues into where these people are based. So this is a way how we could use alum. And once that we reviewed that, if we really feel this is an individual we would like to be more engaged with and learning more what they were doing, I would then recommend to follow them. Okay, follow them indicates that anything that gets posted, shared from that individual will come in your newsfeed. Therefore, you will be aware of the challenges, gaps, the most important things that this individual finds time to report, to comment on, that could give you a better idea of what you have in common with them. When we are trying to connect with individuals, we need to understand the why. What is it that we have in common, and why would we want to connect with them? What's going to be that drives us to make a request for a communication? And that's the other area I wanted to show you. Let's say Valentin is very active. I'm following him. I understand that, he probably recently published something in an article that has to do with a paper. Maybe one of our courses was highlighting the author, or there was an area framework that he was sharing with others. Can we contribute to this communication? And besides following him, can we be reciprocating and putting something, right? Adding to that post. The other thing I would say, I would invite them to connect. So what you could do is you can click on the connect. But before you do this, please, you need to understand what are you going to ask? What is going to be your ask? And always add a note. Never send an invitation to connect with the common one that says with that. Ignore that. You have to always personalize them. Let them know why. What is it that you have in common? What are you asking, right? Think about this receiver. They are professionals. They're working. What would you respond to yes if you're already engaged? How would you respond to a request that comes into your inbox? That should be the same approach. So hopefully that was helpful on how we can navigate rural roads. There's different areas. You can remove it from the program. You can do about what are the areas, what they do, what they're skilled at, and then you can narrow it by geographical locations too. So that's what I wanted to highlight a little bit today with this network. And let's go back to my main home, and I'm aware of the time. Another important thing is groups. You need to start identifying perhaps groups in your industry that you may want to follow. Events, that's another area where there's different events that could be, they're shared through LinkedIn based on the industry. That's why it's so important to put it, and you can navigate those ones. Now, nothing is bulletproof. You really require to make sure that you review these ones as they come through, okay? My invitation is always take that extra 5 minutes to navigate that line. But why we wanted to show you the importance of LinkedIn as well is because anytime you attend an event, such as the one that we have coming up on February 27 on campus, where we bring in employers, and we have given you the list of the employers who are going to be coming. It's really important to start looking at their social media channels, their websites. What are they talking that is important to them? You're preparing to connect with representatives that day. So how can we start using what they share in their professional? Some of them will have LinkedIn, the majority will, some may not. But how can we use it? Because then after the event, we can connect with them using our LinkedIn and start expanding. And we can use we met at the Employer Connect at Rural Roads event. It was a pleasure meeting you. I wanted to follow up on our conversation. And then you start building those connections. So it's very important when you attend events or webinars and you identify individuals that resonated with some of the areas of your interest, that you practice this of using the LinkedIn tool to connect with them. I'm going to stop sharing and bring us back. I know we have 1 minute left. I really appreciate. I know that you are busy. I already talked about adding the note when we are connecting with individuals. And that is a key piece when we're connecting. And the staying engaged is not just about following people. It's about not only you maybe inviting you to create posts. Think about what can you share? What are you learning? Maybe there's a service you experience from one of those companies and you want to do a shout out about them, right? What was the service? What was so great? Maybe there's an article that that you read recently in one of your courses and you're very passionate about what it's going to create in the industry and you want to share with others. It's not just about following, but then how can you engage with the community within it? So with that, I just finally, again, our main event coming on it's February 27, my bad on that one. It's coming up as a career event, it's a Thursday. And we have as well on February 21st for those students in environment and sciences, we have environment science opportunities in Sherman Gen on 113. That's going to be a hybrid virtual event. So hybrid in person, so meaning you can be in the classroom in Sherman Gen or you can connect online. For our Employer Connect is just in person, so please come to the Grand Quarter Deck to visit us. You can always reach out to us for appointments through LepCall and the Rural Roads channel, YouTube channel. That's another great area for us to look at recordings. And I'm just gonna see, Sue, can you let me know if you see, no, you didn't see it. That's the last thing I wanted to show you where the recordings were gonna be. Rural Roads, here you have Rural Roads channel playlist. Please visit the playlist of Career Learning and Development, which is down here, and go to View Full Playlist. On the View Full Playlist, you're going to see all the events, recordings we have with previous partners, employers, associations who've been coming and visiting us. So don't hesitate to come, and here's where the recording will be posted as well after this event. So I'm going to stop now. Thank you, everybody. If you would like to remain for any questions, I'm here as 101. I apologize if I went 1 minute over. It's been a pleasure. We want to dive longer in LinkedIn, book an appointment. That's what we're here for. And in the summer, we'll do the level 2. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alejandra.